Hey, what's up guys, it's Renaldo here. So this video is going to focus on one thing and one thing only, and that is to squash this bullshit narrative once and for all that voting for a smaller party is wasting your vote or splitting the vote. And this is usually a narrative that is used by lazy political parties that don't actually can convince you based on the policies that they have. So the only mechanism and tool that they have to get your support is to talk shit about other political parties or to fearmonger you in saying, oh, it's neck and neck. You know who I'm talking about because you get those SMSs every election. Ooh, these two parties are neck and neck. And then you see the result and it's not even those two parties that are neck and neck. You all know who I'm talking about. The point, however, is that if you look at the 2024 municipal elections and you go and see that the ANC not only is under 50%, but the ANC is under 40%, that should tell you one thing, that we have matured as a democracy, and the future of elections in this country is coalition politics. And this is where you are going to see various different parties coming together that share the same kind of ideology or future for this country. You're going to have your communists and socialists on the one side, and you're going to have your liberals and conservatives on the other side. But the future of this country is actually bright. Now, South Africa has finally matured as a democracy to the point where coalition politics is the future, meaning we are going to have no outright majority in any of the major metros. The only outliner is perhaps Cape Town, where the Western Cape might just hold on to a majority, but the PA is coming for them, and I think that we are going to see the city of Cape Town, specifically the DA, being under 50% in Cape Town. I don't think we're going to see an outright majority in any of the major metros, and that is why strategic voting is now becoming a very important thing. And when I say strategic voting, I'm saying voting based on your values and principles, a political party that represent your interests and what you stand for. Because imagine how insulting it must be. You as a voter, you can be a teacher, a plumber, an accountant, a doctor, you can be anything. And then you have these political parties that want to come with these cheap politicking and tell you, hey, don't split your vote. Remember, like, we're gonna get a majority. Your values and principles is what needs to guide you to vote for whichever political party you want to vote for. And I'm not here to try in this video to convince you of who you should and should not vote for. All I'm asking you to do is to look at who and what you are and to vote for a political party that aligns closest with your values and principles. Because to be fair, saying you should not vote for a political party or waste your vote on a political party because they are small is absolutely idiotic, because every single political party at one point in time was a small political party. So what they are actually saying is, you should never have voted for us, but oh, thank you that you did, and now that we are big, oh, do not vote for other smaller parties. It is such a cop-out when it comes to convincing people on why they should vote for you. For the longest period of time, opposition parties had it very easy in this country because they could just go out and say, help us stop the ANC. And to a large extent, that benefited one specific political party. Unfortunately, the future of this country is no longer one party rule. And unfortunately, it seems that one specific political party still didn't get the memo. The DA. I don't have to hide it. Everybody knows it. Because you have received those SMSs that says, oh, go out and vote right now. The ANC and the DA are neck and neck. And then you get the results, and either it wasn't neck and neck, it was like hands down one-sided, or a political party that wasn't the DA or the ANC actually won. So this is just one example of how they are insulting your intelligence, how they think that you are so easily convinced that they can just send you an SMS like that and say, ooh, better go out and vote. Fear-mongering is the cuckest way to convince people to vote for your party. And a lot of political parties are finding that out right now. Action SA has been caught red-handed interviewing people on the street, but then it turns out the people on the street are actually people that have been signed up to them that they are aware of. So they are interviewing people that they know are Action SA members or voters or supporters. Shame on you, Action SA. But to get back to the point, please be true to who and what you are and to what you want to contribute towards this country. And when it comes to the election in 2026, take a hard look at the different political parties. Take 5 minutes, take 30 minutes, take an hour, and then just do the most basic of research. Don't trust a friend that votes for a specific political party to convince you on why you should vote for that party. Go and do your own research. You are an individual. You need to know what is important to you, what you would like to see in this country, and just saying, oh, we are a big party and we aren't the ANC, therefore you should vote for us, simply is not a good enough reason anymore to just vote for that political party. And also another important thing, governance is not hard. The ANC unfortunately has set the benchmark for us in how bad they can govern, and the DA, to their credit, has given us a good way to show how a political party can govern. But if you think that it's only one political party that knows how to govern, then I highly recommend that you go and check out the legislation in this country. Because the only thing that you need to do in order to govern well in this country is to follow the law, follow the legislation. And once you do that, guess what? You are going to get clean audits. You are going to govern well. So there's no secret sauce when it comes to good governance. And yes, by all means, if a political party has governed well, they must campaign on their good governance. But don't think for 1 second that there's only one solution in South Africa to good governance. It isn't the case. It just is the legislation. So ultimately, when you do hear slogans like don't waste your vote on a smaller party or vote for the only party that has got a clean governance record, push back. Ask the hard questions. Don't just go, okay, thank you, appreciate it, and you've got my vote. There was this interaction that I had over this last weekend where I asked somebody that is going to vote in an upcoming by-election why that person is going to vote for the party that they said that they're going to vote for. And this person's answer was, because they are the biggest. Now, I'm asking you with tears in my eyes. Not really, but imagine it. If that is your level of involvement in South African politics, because guess what? You might not be interested in politics, but politics is always interested in you. And you can feel that when you go to the grocery store and you buy things and you see the prices have increased, or when you go and put in petrol and you see that the petrol prices increased, or you apply for a job and you suddenly realize that you are too white for the job. This is how politics directly impact your life. So when they come with these slogans, push back. And if your reason for voting for a political party is because they are the biggest party outside of the DA, then I think that you need to take a long, hard look at why you are voting and what you are voting for. Because a lot of people that are voting purely because of the size of political parties don't really know what that party wants to implement. And I can bet you, based on the fact that 85% of this country are Christians, meaning they've got some level of conservatism in them, will not agree with the globalist policies that are being recommended by many political parties. So ultimately, if you are going to vote for a smaller party, know that your vote isn't wasted, or that you aren't splitting the vote, because the future of politics in this country is coalition politics. And yes, there are people that have got terrible experiences with coalition politics, and the reason for that is because they are voting for regional parties. Now please understand that there's a difference between a small party and a small regional party. A regional party is a party that doesn't have a provincial or a national footprint. They are usually a party like in Nelson Mandela Bay, like the National Alliance, which was formerly known as the Northern Alliance, which don't have to answer to a provincial leader or to a national leader, because it's just a bunch of 5 or 10 guys that decided we are going to start a political party, and then they can promise you the world, but then when the results are read and they have to decide who they want to align with, then usually the positions come up, and that is what they sell themselves to. And then they don't have to account to the electorate, because after 5 years they know they're not going to exist anymore. So rather just make the money while they still can. Ask Gary van Niekerk in Nelson Mandela Bay and you'll have your answer. He threw all of his voters under the bus because his campaign was anti-ANC. And guess what was the first thing that he did when he got into local government? He decided to align with the ANC. And even though his voters is pissed off at him, there's nothing that they can do about it. And that's the difference between a regional small party and just a normal small party. The reason why coalition politics is the future of not only South Africa, but the rest of the world, is because many people in this country have different beliefs. Many people around the world has got different beliefs. And if you are, for argument's sake, a conservative individual, then other political parties aren't going to represent your interests. However, if you support that party, whether they get 1 seat or 2 seats or 3 seats out of a council of, let's say, 100, you still have representation and people that will fight for your values and principles and your beliefs at a municipal level. So when a big party comes and tells you, don't waste your vote, you should respond back and say, are you saying that my values and principles is a waste of time, is a wasted vote? Because for the longest period of time, that is what South Africans have been doing. They haven't been voting based on their values and principles. They have been voting for what is politically convenient. And as a lot of people are finding out, convenient isn't always better. Ask people that now have to pay rates and taxes that they never ever thought that they would pay. Ultimately, it's your decision to make on whether or not you will be fooled into being told these blatant lies that a vote for a smaller party is a wasted vote. But if you respect yourself enough, and if you respect your family and your loved ones enough, then you will do the right thing and just spend a couple of minutes to look at what political party aligns more with your values and principles, and not just fall for a cheap slogan like don't waste your vote on a small party or don't split the vote. I'm sorry to say there's not going to be any outright majority in most major metros in South Africa. So now is the time to start voting for what you believe in and not what the political party believes in that wants to take your vote and then do whatever they want to do with it. Respect yourself enough to do the most basic of thing, which is to research what you believe in and what political party represent what you believe in. Now, to conclude this video, let me also just state that if you are one of those individuals that look at ANC voters and go, oh, they just mindless voters that every single election year fall for empty promises and they vote for the party. Well, guess what? If you are somebody that votes for the biggest, smallest party in this country because they are the biggest, smallest party, then how exactly are you any different? Yeah, think about that for a second. And that's pretty much all I got to say. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please be sure to smash that like button, share this video far and wide. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. It's absolutely free, and you can do so by clicking the subscribe button below. Also, if you support my content and you'd like to financially contribute, you can either give a super thanks or you can become a member to this channel. It'll cost you R39.99 a month, and you can do that by clicking the join button below. And that's all I got to say, everybody. Till later, cheers and peace out.
You don't even know me, but every time you see me, you say I went my massacre. You don't even know me, but every time you see me, you say I went my massacre. My massacre. You don't even know me, but every time you see me, you say I went my massacre. My massacre.